The purpose of today's meeting is to review the study process and schedule, explain the evaluation.
There we go. And give us 1 minute, sorry. Well, I'll begin. Welcome. Thank you all for coming out tonight. This was originally requested by the City of Wilmington that we come out just and repeat the public meeting that we had just a few weeks ago. So this is from the third public meeting that was held on February 22nd, 23rd. And we weren't really anticipating having a question and answering session, but I know that there was some comments, so we decided, we'll go ahead and have a question and answering session. Yes, sorry, thank you. My name is Steve Schulke with the Illinois Department of Transportation. I'm the Illiana project manager. We also have with me Tracy Morse from Images, who's a sub-consultant to PB. PB is doing the Phase 1 study for the Illiana Expressway. We also have Mike Cullian up here from the Bureau of Land Acquisition, who is answering a lot of questions in the other room. We have Rick Powell from the PB team and John Basic with IDOT. INDOT is also participating in this study, and they are part of the study as well. And with that, I guess I'll begin with just a question and answering session. We do have people around the room. If you have a question, we just ask to write it on a question and answering card, so we can read the question and I'll answer the question.
You want that on, Tracy?
Yes, they do. So I'll shout here for a minute. Again, my name is Tracy. I'm going to be facilitating the question and answer session. As Steve mentioned, there's two ladies here, Kathy and Sarah, that have pens and have question and answer cards. If you have a question, please raise your hand. They will come to you. You can fill out a question card and give you a pen, and then you can return it and they'll bring it back down to me. In order to save time, thank you very much. In order to save time, I know many of you probably have the similar types of questions. So in order to save time, we've taken the liberty to combine some of these that are very similar in nature. But we will want to just only, I will only read questions that are on these cards here tonight. So please feel free, we have many of them, to fill them out if you don't already, if you haven't done so already.
Are you reading everybody's cards or just a few or what?
And what we'll do is, certainly if there's a specific property question that you have, I know we've had the iPads out there. Certainly we will be here afterwards. Need be, if you have specific property questions, we'd be happy to answer them. At this point, for these questions, I'm just going to combine them as much as possible. And the question and answer session will be limited to an hour. Okay, so I'll get started on the first question. Who is building the highway? State, federal, private? Is it private funds? Is it a combination? Will this be a toll road?
Okay, so right now, what we have funded is we have the Tier 1 and Tier 2. So on the PowerPoint, we were mentioning Tier 1 and Tier 2 and what is it. So Tier 1 is the what is it and where is it. So we look at this 950 square mile area and we're trying to come up with the best transportation solution that maximizes transportation performance while minimizing impacts. What we have funded right now is we have funded Tier 1 and Tier 2. Those are with state funds by both IDOT and INDOT. INDOT is participating in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 portion of the study. We have no identified funding beyond Tier 1 and Tier 2. So we do not have identified funding for land acquisition or construction. The legislation that was passed in 2010 that enabled the study for the Illiana Expressway was passed in 2010 in Illinois and was passed in Indiana. That allows for us to look at a P3, a public-private partnership. Public-private partnership is a financing option on how we can go about funding such a facility. To fund a facility like that, you would look at a toll road as being one of the options. And so right now, we are looking at all of the options on the table. We're still in Tier 1, and we're still trying to find the best transportation solution. So the toll road is definitely on the table, along with our standard design bid build process, which would be using regular state funds or regular federal funds and go through the normal IDOT bid cycle. So everything's on the table right now.
I have 4 other similar questions. How are you going to pay for it? How are they going to finish the road? Where's the money going to come from? All very similar questions that go along with that one.
And like I said, is that the financing options and the financing details will not really come out until Tier 2. Right now, we're just trying to find what is it, where is it, and there's a lot of details that go into that. There's a lot of details that go into the bridge type studies. When we go into Tier 1, Tier 1's looking at a very high level, looking at just geographical information systems. Tier 2 is doing the field data. We will be out here for another 2 years looking at all the field data, going out there doing surveys. So we're going to be out here for a while. Another 2 years is the Tier 2 study time frame. So for another 18 to 24 months, we will be out here and going through a very similar process. A series of numerous other public meetings. We've had 3 public meetings for this one already, and we're going to go to a public hearing in the June-July timeframe. Next year, we're going to, at the end of this year, we are looking to finish Tier 1. Next year, we're going to go through a series of additional public meetings and another public hearing at the end of Tier 2. So there's numerous additional public involvement activities that are going to take place within the next 2 years.
This next question is regarding the actual alternatives. So if B3 is chosen, where will construction start at? Will it start in Indiana, Illinois, or both?
Well, right now, depending on financing, funding, how much funding do we have for land acquisition? Right now, I know PB's modeling some of those scenarios to find segments of independent utility. Looking at, well, what happens if we just connect I-57 to I-65 or I-55 to I-57 or 41 to 65. So we're looking at all of that. Right now it's too early in the process to say what starts first. For a job like this, we're anticipating the construction of the whole thing to take almost 3 years just to construct it, if all funding were to come into place. So it's too early in the process for that.
Where will the interchange on? Where will an interchange be on Route 53?
Well, right now in the draft EIS and how we perform the modeling is we assumed an interchange, and so we'll have conceptual interchange locations at Tier 1 at every state route. So we did look at 53, and in the draft EIS we're putting one